we began to understand that there were people, perhaps even families of the hostages in the U.S., that would be watching our coverage, watching the story unfold live. And we began to understand that the responsibility we had for being honest, truthful, and thorough in our coverage was more than any of us had ever imagined before. That turned out to be true. Families of the hostages were indeed watching our coverage and seeing the story unfold in their living rooms live. So we began to truly understand the impact of what we were doing. And when the security people told us to turn the camera off from the tower overlooking the roof of Building 31, that's when we really started thinking, we got to be really careful here, because what we're covering can be seen by everybody, basically in the world. And so that generated a higher sense of responsibility for what we were doing than we were used to. But our instincts were right, as we had been taught by Arledge year after year after year, and for several big events and Olympics. Just be truthful, be accurate, and do the right thing. And that's what we did.
The inspiration to take that perspective was a research conversation that we had with the real Jeffrey Mason, the character played by John Magara in our movie, who was in the control room back then during this 22 hours marathon of crisis reporting. And listening to his stories and to what he experienced on that day made us think for the first time, like, can't we tell our movie entirely from that perspective? Because we realized what, especially for from today's point of view, how relevant that story is that happened a little bit more than 50 years ago, and how we consume news today.
This day forever changed media. This was the first time that a horrible event like this was shared globally via satellite on live TV. And it was innovative at the time. There was such excitement around the opportunity to broadcast live globally at the '72 Olympics, and having that taken over by these tragic events changed media forever. It's still something that we're grappling with, and I hope at the end of the day people realize that on September 5th, news was changed forever.
I suppose that if I had a hope about the film, it would be just that people think about what live coverage can do, what it means. That is it enough just to shoot something, cover it, and just let the audience decide, or do the people covering it have a responsibility? And more importantly, to what degree does that coverage affect the real world outcome of the event that you're covering? And I think there's no doubt that it does.